treasuries. As the name implies, a gold-backed stablecoin is backed by physical custody of gold. Consequently, with a claim to the gold that's on deposit, each token reflects the market price of gold. Similar commodity-backed stablecoins are obviously viable, but why would anyone prefer a stablecoin of any kind to a traditional bank deposit? Well, first, banks have fractional reserves, and although the risk of a bank default is normally small, cases like Silicon Valley Bank exist. Stablecoins are fully reserved, and they have audited balances of 1-to-1. In the case of dollars, it's $1 per dollar, or in the case of something like gold, it'd be 1 ounce per token. The other thing is self-custody. So while the skeptics, keep trying to undermine the market, the whole point is self-custody, permissionless, which is no intermediary payments. And the idea that you have to go through an intermediary to be trusted basically says that unless the government grants you permission, we just assume you're a criminal, that you're trying to do everything that we want to criminalize. And there is no decentralized finance without the decentralized part. If you don't protect self-custody, you essentially don't have, all you really do is change which intermediaries are involved. You don't really do that much truly interesting work. So I don't think any serious piece of legislation to try to chart a path for a, quote, golden age of digital assets could possibly exclude serious protections for self-custody. And I was really pleased to hear you highlight that, Mr. Kim. So, Mr. Yakum, Kraken lists some advantages of gold-backed stablecoins. You obviously have them available. Do you agree that there are advantages to using a gold-backed stablecoin to other stablecoins?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. And to touch on your prior point, thank you for your leadership in terms of helping others understand the importance of self-custody in the crypto markets. With respect to stablecoins, we believe a robust and healthy and competitive stablecoin market is going to be important. We've seen instances where the market,
yes,
either due to regulation or other forces, has been dominated by a couple players. But again, in Europe, let's look to this example. We've seen the emergence as rules have been put in place, new issuers register, and competitive forces at play. And I think that's what we all want for the market. So this includes gold-backed stablecoins. I think there's going to be a lot of innovation in this space, but it's important for the U.S. to put rules in place for issuers. Right now, we see other jurisdictions moving forward, which is requiring every global stablecoin issuer to consider registration in one jurisdiction or another.
Yeah,
and
I think it's a good point. I mean, I think the big thing the committees try to do, and we had witnesses, including Director Harris from New York, and we've had legal clarity in America for years now. We just haven't made it federal. And so some people want to make it only federal and essentially nuke what's worked successfully with a regulatory regime in New York. And look, New York rarely gets regulatory frameworks right in a way that I will applaud, but this is one that seems to have been pretty effective. A lot of times it seems very heavy-handed, but this seems to have worked. And we've got people that don't want to recognize that and basically want to eliminate the state-backed stablecoin path. And one of the other things that we talked about was, legal clarity. One of the first bills I introduced in this space was the Token Taxonomy Act, and it gets at this idea that there has to be a bright line test. I'm going to rapidly run out of time, but Mr. Mossad, is there any place that really doesn't look like a Jackson Pollock painting? I mean, that everyone looks at it and says, this is really a bright line test. This is a security, and this is not.
Congressman, thank you for the question. It's very tough, but I think we need to remember that other jurisdictions are struggling with this security versus commodity or security versus something else also. Europe has this too. It's whether it's a crypto asset or a financial instrument. The difference is they have, in some of these other jurisdictions, because this also exists in Hong Kong and other places, they have more unitary regulation. So it's a little bit easier to.
Well, it is the challenge before us, and we have to get a bright line. I'm sure others will highlight it. Sadly, my time's expired.